So we had for past 4 weeks we studied the book of Ruth. So today is basically I'm gonna have a brief review session. It's not gonna be long, but because we have a testimony sharings and 40-minute long skit, we're gonna watch it. So could you open the slide? Yeah. So I made a little bit of some kind of interactive session using the Mentimeter. So could you go and then scan the QR code? If you are unable to do it, you can go join at menti.com and then you use the code that is given there. Use your phone. If you don't want to join, that's fine. But if you want to join this session, then please join the Menti, and I'm going to lead this review session. Okay, 11, so 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 19, 20. Let me wait 30 seconds. No more than 21 then. 21 is the, I think, final number. Okay, let's go to the first one. This is the map question. Think before you answer, okay? Pin the location where Ruth's story begins, where Naomi family lived before returning to her hometown. So carefully think. If you understand the story, someone mentioned Bethlehem in Judah, okay? That's good. Mostly in Moab, okay? Two people, Bethlehem in Judah. Let's see. One more, okay. If you don't know, just, random place. Reuben, Benjamin, Hebron. So, what is the answer? What is a major event happen in Moab, right? So Naomi family, they moved to Moab from Bethlehem. And then, tragic event happened there. So Naomi decided to return home. And Ruth followed. So that's what story begin in chapter 1. So answer is Moab. It's okay, you answer is Judah. Judah is another one, but Moab is the answer. Majority of people had the right answer. Maybe 9. Total 18. Okay, good. Let's move on to the next question. What one word best summarize the book of Ruth for you? It doesn't have to be one word, maybe one phrase. Obey. Who said chesed? Maybe Hased, right? Redemption. Wow. Obey, radical faith. Hased. Wow. Yeah, many people said Hased, God's providence, kindness, grace. Yeah, so far redemption is the, okay, redeemer, loyalty. Redemption led by kindness, wow. Great. So I think, yeah, that's true. So many people chose redemption, loyalty. Hased is in Hebrew word kindness, okay, loyalty, and radical faith shown by Ruth. So redemption is the key word, and some people say providence, God's invisible hands. Yeah. So that's why you summarize the book of Ruth. when you can explain what did you learn from Book of Ruth, then you can share what you learn through this one word, keyword. Okay, good. Let's move on next question. What character do you like most in the Book of Ruth? Okay. Boaz. You know, personally, I don't like Boaz. He's too good. Ruth, what dominantly Ruth. No one Orpha, no one Elimelech. Okay. Ruth. Oh, one said Orpha. I mean, that's a very reasonable choice. Reasonable Orpha. Yeah. Orpha. Yeah. So far, Ruth is the dominant. Naomi and Boaz are. They are main characters, by the way. Okay. That's kind of symmetric, yeah. That's a standard normal distribution. Boaz one. Okay, Naomi, Ruth, and Boaz. Nobody chose Elimelech. Do you know why? The reason, right? Because he died. Okay, next question. If the Book of Ruth were made into movie, what title would you choose? I mean, by the way, those examples, I gave 2 examples, and Moses Kim gave 2 examples, and then Isaac Bua also made 1 example. Found my Boaz. That's what I made. Gloom to glory. You know, Moses made them widows and misfortune. And Isaac Bua said glorious widows. Wow, gloom to glory is the winner. It's pretty much well summarized the Book of Ruth story. Studied the gloom, tragic event, but God made it turn into great. What if you make a title? What would you suggest? I now give you a chance to make your own. If you don't like previous titles, you can make your own movie title. Ruth. I mean, that's good. The Redeemer. Return of the widows. Hidden hands? Wow, Ruth story of wow, that's good. What? Moses? Who said that? Widow to winners. Great romance of redemption. I think that's what Mission Moses' message, right? Invisible hands. To Ruth, tragedy to redemption. From Ruth to the redemption story of Ruth. Under the Redeemer's wings. Oh, I like it. Ruth of return. Lucy? Who said that? Anna? No? Who said Lucy? Found love again. Story of the ancestors of faith. It's like someone who is God's work behind the scenes. Okay, great. Which lesson from Ruth is most relevant to your life today? You can rank from most relevant to least relevant, you think. These are covering the major themes in Ruth Bible study. God's providence, kindness, and Redeemer, redemption, and trusting God when facing uncertain choices. It depends on what you learned, what you can find the lesson from Book of Ruth. Seeing God's hands in everyday life. That's about God's providence. Trusting God. This is a decision of faith, right? When you are facing uncertain choices, You trust God and you make a decision of faith. Yeah, these are more relevant to you. Because we face many uncertain situations and sometimes you make a choice. That's why we see Elimelech, Orpah did. But Ruth made a choice based on her faith in God. So trusting God when facing uncertain choices. Looks like that's the dominant, that's the more relevant to you. Who chose the power of kindness? Aina. Moses. Good. Let's move on to the next question. This is an open-ended question. If you do not want to share in public, that's fine. But this is anonymously written, so we don't know who wrote. So if you define providence as God's invisible hands and work, how have you experienced His providence in your life? So I think this is a testimony type of question. And if you intend to share testimony, that's good. You can come up and share. Or this is one thing you can think of, how God helped you. Sometimes you are not aware of God's help, but God is helping you. God is working behind the scene. Well, my wife, okay. Yeah, that's good question. Good answer. My wife is God's providence. I think that's James, right? Interesting. PhD. Daily bread. What? 친구들? What? 친구들? JBS 친구들. Okay. Friends. He gave me a husband in his time. Oh, husband and wife. While studying, answering my prayer with his words in my everyday life. Wow. Marriage of faith. It's very practical. Someone is God guided me through my undergraduate and graduate school funding, research, and wisdom to excel academically. At least the graduate degree, right? David. Who said David? Mr. James. Children. Yeah, so God's invisible hands. In the moment we may not realize, but looking back, we realize God's providence is evident. Okay, good choices. I see that God's working hands in everyday life behind the scenes. Okay, we can hear testimonies, after that. Let's do the last question. God sees every step of faith, uses it for His redemptive purpose. What step will you take today? So we can say decision of faith or step of faith. Decision of faith is more one-time decision, but step of faith is more ongoing. You are taking step of faith on an ongoing basis. And then sometimes there is big and small. Seems kind of insignificant in the moment, but God uses it for His redemptive purpose. That's why we saw in life of Ruth, right? Ruth made a choice, but God used it for His redemptive purpose. So prayer, sharing testimonies, do daily bread, prayer, trust in and believe His word, regular Bible reading, trust in God, keep gleaning. One who said keep gleaning, keep working. So this is your resolution, right? You make a resolution to a step of faith, hoping that God will use it for His redemptive purpose. Show love to others, washing dishes after church. I like it. Serving, trust and obey. come to Him every day despite my shortcomings. Devotion, Bible reading, and every day. Take a moment before taking action to hear His voice. Good. Yeah, so this is your every step of faith. And God abundantly bless your step of faith. Trusting Him to lead me in the right direction. Okay. Fasting, oh wow. Who just said fasting? Okay, good. I think that's all for what I prepared. So, did you like it? Yeah, good. So let's move on to testimony sharing. So who prepared testimony sharing? Share your testimony on a voluntary basis. And who gonna share first? I can briefly share one paragraph testimony because I want to share the providence. So providence, is defined as God's sovereign guidance, care and protection and provision in our lives, often working behind the scenes. It means that God orchestrates events in people, even during difficult and uncertain times, to fulfill His purpose for individuals and even for the world. Frequently, we don't recognize His providence in the moment. However, looking back, we clearly see how God has been working for our good, weaving everything together to accomplish the best outcome for those who love Him. So, personal example of how I experienced God's providence really occurred in January 30, 2013. It's like 12 years ago when my green card arrived in my apartment mailbox. So that was the pivotal moment of my life. At that time, I was applying for a faculty position, anxiously waiting for a campus interview. And technically, I had no job. And my wife, Rebecca, who had been pregnant, the fourth baby, Samuel, I were honestly praying, holding on to Philippians 4, 6, and 7. We were unsure about how our future would unfold. Imagine I didn't have a job, we would have a fourth child is coming, and we are praying for my job. Though we had no clear idea, I asked the sign for the green card would be the sign. I pray that if you hear our prayer and please I may receive a green card no later than January. And I was waiting January 1st to January 30th. And then I went to mailbox every day. And January 30th, when I opened the mailbox and green card was arrived there. So that was the sign of God's blessing. Then right after that, I had a job interview at Westchester University. And I finally got a job, full-time tenure track position. So though we had no clear idea of what lay ahead, God, through His invisible hands of providence, orchestrated every event perfectly. In just the right time, my green card was delivered. That really reminded me of God's faithful provision and care. So that's my testimony for the God's providence. Okay, thank you.